Now, episode 5 of Earth Guy was a surprise because they decided to do the sitcom episode as sports. That's sort of ballsy to do this soon. If you don't know what I mean, sitcom episode or sports, basically every time you see a show or animated show, they use the sitcom episode. They do it in the season, during the season, but they do it far enough to understand what the characters actually are. Because at the very end, the sitcom episode could be the most annoying and pissed off episode for the fans because some of the jokes do not fit the characters because the fans understand the characters, how long they took them to develop. It doesn't make sense a certain character said a joke that specifically against their personality. I think the more easy one to show you or give you an example is Johnny Test. Johnny Test, the whole series is a sitcom episode. It's a wish fulfillment, but every single joke you can remove or add to any other character, and there is no difference because it's sort of just the jokes, not the characters. This one was sort of kind of successful, but at the same time, this is the reason why people hate it. It doesn't really have a soul to compare to Ghibli, the Disney show. That's a brand new show, has about 2 seasons right about now. Every single joke is specific made for that specific character. You cannot remove that joke to give it to another one because it wouldn't fit. This is a difference of a good sitcom and a bad sitcom, or a cheap sitcom, if you will. And this is the reason why creators who make kind of serious series or dramatic put a sitcom episode in their show. They do it a long while. They wait to episode 23 or episode 40 just to understand how to make the characters work and why that joke worked for that specific character. And you'd be surprised, Earth Guy decided to do episode 5 a sitcom episode because you don't know they can pull it off because they easily mess it up, but they don't. They actually pull it off so well. But not just that, they one up themselves. They actually give more information because this simple episode could be just a filler episode and move on, doesn't develop the characters or anything like that. But no, they did add some things that is sort of interesting, how they show what this sport really is. But before I continue on, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, the reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, if you like how it's going, like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine if you do. Thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And thank you, everybody who do subscribe, like, and comment. Now, let's get started off this review video of Earth Guy episode 5. One of the things I was really surprised because of this episode, this is like to do a sports episode, specifically the easy topper jokes. The easy way to write a joke for a character is putting in a high school setting and putting in gym class. Like everybody hates sports, when the athlete likes sports, they can show off who they are. Simple, easily to do, simple, easy to sell. But that's the thing, that could be really annoying. But you know what? They don't actually do that. They do serve the steps, like other characters don't want to go, you know why, he's the victim. They never actually do that. They do like Neil's late, and he just saw what this strange sport what it is, and give me more curiosity, give a backstory what this sport really is, and realize Neil is not up to the challenge because he's human. That is the thing make this episode good to be amazing, because it's all about understanding the culture of this sport, because they don't show you anything. It's just completely random, just completely odd different sports combined becomes a one, because every single alien wants their own sport in this special school. To satisfy everybody, decide to mix all the sports as one to keep it simple and plain, but very, very complicated. Because of this, they really don't explain it, because it's just sort of hard to explain. If you do, you kind of completely nonsense, and that's why it works so well. And just sort of making fun of, oh yeah, this is this, I think. And I think that's make this comedy works so well because it fits the narrative story. Especially Neo cannot really challenge the other aliens because their biology is just more advanced than him, and he is sort of still human, the rookie. He doesn't know anything what's going on. Especially, you leave out the tropes. He got the loser group, but he never really used that trope to the fullest because he doesn't want to use that. It's just sort of kind of scenario to bully Neo and his friends, but asking himself what Neo's bring on the table. This is what I mean to a good writer to a bad writer. A bad writer use every single cliche but never use the full potential. A good writer use the cliches but realizing I do not need this because it doesn't fit the story, doesn't fit the narrative I'm trying to put with Neil sort of situation. So we put jokes and narrative stories that didn't make sense to Neo. And this is why this elevated to be amazing because he understands completely. Because Neo is not up to the challenge because this is the first time he sees the sport. It's so ridiculous, but yet it kind of makes sense because the only way you beat this challenge is you have to be good of every single sport. If Neo not. And that's why it's so impressive and kind of smart. And especially points out Dio is very important to this group because he's the one who unites everybody and also understands their strengths and weaknesses, even that he not realize what he's doing. He is actually a good leader, what the school trying to do to each single character, to lead this case become great leaders to make peace around the world. And that's sort of genius using a sitcom sports episode to point that out and see close bondings with his friends. Even each friend are completely different creatures, different abilities that doesn't work in the sports they put into. It's especially how they attempted to show you the sports. If you've not seen the episode 5, it's all about random sports stitched together, but they don't explain. They show you little weird sports that is makes sense if you know the sport, but out of context, and that's the way they present it. They don't show you how it begins or ends, just put it in the middle of the whole thing, and you have to figure it out. And I think this is why it's so enjoyable, because you're trying to predict why you have dodgeball, a game event, but the very end became a sort of a football American take of the dodgeball event. It's sort of fusing sometimes two sports at once. Other times it's just doing a simple sport. Instead of unpredicting, putting each single character in random situations to see if the joke work. And it actually does. And I think that's why it's so impressive. On top of this episode allow you to see the council, at least their eyes. We don't know who they are, who they present, or what nation, but all of them just here to have fun and interest, but at the same time to see what Neil could actually do, and they get some sort of gambling addiction out of them, because at the very end, the council is just betting the students which one could do more, which one could do less, and sort of to predict what it can do. But all of that, I found that sort of interesting because you don't know, are they against the school, with the school, or they just privileged staff members got the job because they know someone. Honestly, we don't know, but it's sort of interesting how they kind of don't care, but at the same time kind of care, because the sport does not present what the necessity of the school, but ironically, it kind of does in a way. And that's what I mean. It's just sort of random, sort of sitcom type of comedy, but stitched together, trying to make sort of sense. But every year, it's sort of interesting, especially all the on a context jokes they put on. I think one of my favorite one is the drag race. That what it sounds like. Are you talking about a race or drag race? The first time they show you, you realize, oh, a normal drag race, a beauty contest for guys to change like girls. No, 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 it's a Mario parody. No, 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 it's something else. And that's the thing. It doesn't let you breathe. It just lets you second guess yourself to see if you land the joke. In a way, it kind of does. It's just super out there, but it works. It have that sort of simple, kind of funny thing. But on top of this, Neil and also the prince get more closer together, but also Neil get closer to the rest of their friends, understanding why they like Neil, but also showing why Neil is a good candidate of Earth. Because at the very beginning of the episode, asking that question, or not just asking the question, one of the characters pushed Neil to answer that question. Who are you? Why you think you're the best candidate to percent of your own human race? And Neil sort of kind of answered that he isn't. Everything was accidental, but sort of asked that question: is it accidental? Because it's reason he was chosen to present Earth, even that he is not the best, but presents the best qualities of a human race. Willing to go through the challenge, willing to do something to prove themselves, even that he didn't have no reason to do because it was sort of accidental. But I love that they did it sort of like a comedy sort of point of view that works so well of this series. It's all about that sort of charm, that's sort of funny. And also they try to do some animation chibis that kind of work, kind of doesn't, because sort of obvious, it's sort of kind of cheap because they don't have the team, but in the end it still does work. It has that sort of charm, especially Neil, like he doesn't know what's going on, especially you expect to him to win, but it doesn't. It was sort of like a Bad News Bears old style movie that is, the reality is you're not gonna win, just do your best. Even there sort of kind of tip the scale to let Neil kind of win, but actually not really. But they only do this because the council were betting against and with Neil to see who actually wins. But you kind of realize if the council are good people or are incompetent or not incompetent, we don't know. It depends on you how you choose to interpret it. But at the same time, I just enjoy they did not give him the Hollywood treatment, the Hollywood ending, because reality, it does make sense. Neil should fail miserably, but yeah, everything works because they add the most important thing, develop Neil and answering that question why Neil is deserving to be in this school. And this whole episode proves why he's there, proves the quality of humanity, proves even that he's not the best, he presents what is best to be a human being. And that is just sort of enjoyable. Of course, I don't know if this was on purpose or by accident. We just don't know. It all depends on the writers, because you'd be surprised every time you think, oh, very good writing, because the writers have this vision, and you realize, oh no, we didn't have a mission. We thought this was funny and that's it. That's sometimes what it happens, but all of that, I don't care, because was very enjoyable. I don't know you. Do you care about it? Do you enjoy it? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.